Yes.
I'm going to go to the international website
Mm-hmm.
and under member login, it's going to get us to the member portal. Mine automatically logs me in.
Yes.
If you go to my LCI,
Yes.
this resides because it's a member report or a membership report. It resides here in this side.
Okay.
This is me as just my guiding line. So let me log in as select a different title so I can see more things.
So that's what shows up, that the little icon thing that says support will show up at the top right.
Yeah, there's a little that little banner, that little flag
Yes.
there. Support is automatically on your screen.
Okay.
So if you have more than one title in the system, because this system is completely title driven, if you
Okay.
have more than one title, it will. Let me close some of these things because it's freaking out my computer right now.
I don't think I have more than one title, just district governor.
So if others that you might be working with might have more than one title. And so
Okay.
if you're looking at more than one title, you change it right above that. But under support, there's this membership reports. If
Okay.
you click on this, this is where you're going to find all of the things that any of the reports that you get are available for membership, your cumulative reports, all of those things.
Okay.
But
Okay.
you go into here, and I don't know what your history is with working with old school directories, but essentially the parent directory, if you click on parent directory, this is old school database layout. You'll
Okay.
see the club health assessment is down here.
Right there. Okay.
And then you can go in and you can pick the year. So if you want to go back and look at where a club was X number of years ago, there's ways to dig through it. So this is the
Okay.
July one is the only one available right now. You can
Yes.
do club or district, as you can see. And then if you're going to do the club health assessment, come on,
Come on, baby. Come on.
you can do it. You can do it. You scroll through and it's the alphanumeric order that everything is sorted in with
Okay.
LCI stuff. So
Okay.
you are 30 what?
30S like Sam.
So let's scroll down to 30S.
There it is. Oh, go
There you
up
go.
to right there. Yeah.
And it will automatic mine. I've got it set up to ask me if I want to open or save.
Right.
And it is going to open up your health assessment. And that's one I'm going to share with you on a screen here next. So
Okay.
that's where you find it. That's where
Perfect.
you find any number of those reports, any of the reports that LCI has for you on membership. You can dig through and find it there, which
Perfect.
to me is a beautiful little gift.
It is.
And that has always been there. You can't break anything in there. So you can go poke around as much as you want.
Okay.
And if you don't see it on the list, you can click on any number, any one of those links on that original support membership report area. And it'll, as long as it says parent directory, you can click and find the club health assessment. So it's always going back. It's always going back one, essentially, or basically going back up to the parent directory to find it.
Okay, good. Okay.
So that's where you find it. So the club health assessment has been a document that was created by LCI, I want to say over 15 years ago.
Okay.
And it's changed throughout time to have some additions added to it. And it's really a great snapshot from a district standpoint.
Yes.
And also from a club standpoint. So as district governor, you and your vice district governors, your GAT team, they all, in zone chairs, all get this email to them once a month, usually by around the number 5, 5th of the month.
Okay.
And it shows you a snapshot of your district. Clubs also, and guiding lions for clubs, also get specific ones for them, the club themselves.
Okay.
And I do believe clubs are also able to look at this on their own for their own club health assessment, and we can dig through that later.
Okay.
But one of the cool things about this is if you look at this snapshot, obviously you're looking at club number, club name, charter date. So you've got that information. But
right.
The status of the club, if they're on any specific bad, if they're active club, if they're on status quo, all of that appears here in this first column.
So what does the 1 or the 2 mean? Active 1, active 2.
So down here,
down at the bottom. Okay.
I thought it had that on there. active 1, active 2. I'm not sure why it's not on here. The active club, I've not necessarily seen that 1 and 2 behind it. So I'm not sure
Mhm.
what that means, to be honest with
Okay.
you. We should look that up. So it's active 1, active 2.
Okay.
Let me look at my own clubs here and see.
I'll close my eyes.
No, you're fine. There's nothing, it doesn't, this is all good. This doesn't matter. This is my own district and we just have active. I've never
Yeah.
seen that 1 and 2 before.
Okay.
So I'm not exactly sure what that might mean.
Okay. You mean to tell me in your district you have 2,073 members?
Yeah, and we're down considerably.
Well, we started July 1 with 781 members. We're down 3. And we're going to grow by the end of the business year by 24.
Oh, wow.
We've been down. I know at least the last 2 years. I haven't dug further back, but now I know how to dig further back and see how many more years previous we've been going down.
So it's a fun, so this is an area that I love. I hate and love, because I hate that we have to look at it the way we have to look at it. But I did go back and create a spreadsheet with all of our clubs to show, I think I've got 10 or 15 years trends now. And I need to update it because I haven't looked at it for a couple of years. But to see the clubs that have actually shown sustained growth and those that are dropping, and try to assess and then reach out to those clubs to create panel discussions and things at our conventions and other learning opportunities to help share their successes and what's made the difference for them.
And what's working for them. Yeah.
Yep.
I even had a president the other night of a club tell me, he says, Greg, we've got to emphasize adding new members. And I tell him, if it's a small club and it's 50 and older, I said, okay, where's this club going to be in 5 or 10 years?
Yeah.
If it's like it is now, it will go with the dinosaurs. I mean, and I don't say that, but they're smart enough to figure it out. You know, do you want this club to continue? I mean,
yeah.
Anyhow, okay. Yeah.
So
okay. Go ahead.
This report gives you a snapshot of the membership and then the leadership. And then if they've got money outstanding and if they donate to LCIF. So it's basically left to right. And anything that's on the quote unquote naughty list, if you fall below whatever the parameter is, it gets shown in red.
Gotcha. I knew that part. And I understand everything in the membership thing.
So yeah, that one's not as much. So let's talk about the reports. So reports is the reporting is interesting. So for the monthly membership report, which is what MMR stands for, they're looking at if no report in 3 months, it appears this is going to show up that they haven't reported. And
that's by the club secretary.
Correct. And they have to go in every month, regardless of whether they've done any, if they've added any members and do a report.
Yes. Okay.
And it's the same with the activities. So the activities, you're going to notice you have a lot more challenges with, because there's a lot of your clubs that have not reported at all, it looks like, and some of them that are 2 years plus out on reporting.
Yeah.
Now, you have very few clubs from the looks of it that are actually reporting.
Right.
Their service.
Part of that may be from COVID. I'm not going to give them that excuse, but that may be part of it. But here's the other thing that I found, Jodi. There's a club in Alabama, small club, can't tell you the numbers, I don't know. Last year, they did 194 service projects. And here's the key. If it's one lion and sees somebody that is blind, let's say, and needs help buying their groceries, if they walk up to them and say, ma'am, do you need help buying your groceries? I've got time. My name's Greg Palmer. I'm a lion, and I would like to help you. That becomes a service project.
It certainly does.
But here's the dichotomy. Too many of our club members, at least, think you have to have a certain percentage of your club members to participate in that service project for it to qualify.
So Greg, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Do you have a district administrator set up that handles working with clubs on reporting, answering questions about both my line and my LCI?
Yes, we do. But he's one of the people I'm going to send this to, because honest to goodness, and Joe's a great man, but he got no direction last year.
Mhm.
And I love our district governor. His wife was suffering with cancer. She died about 3 months ago.
Oh,
I don't know that Charles really understood this report, but
yeah.
he saw that we needed to have an administrator. And Joe, the administrator, told me, Greg, I don't know what I need to be doing. I
So
don't.
if you would like, I would be happy to, we've got a very strong district administrator and
Okay.
also our GMT. They kind of work hand in hand on these projects. If
Okay.
you would like, I can connect you and them and see if they would be willing to mentor your guy. Because
Okay.
we used to, before we went to My Lion, we had an incredible reporting rate in my district.
Mhm.
And then My Lion really goofed a lot of things up because of the challenges technology wise and things not working and everything else. So
Mhm.
we've never recovered back to that level where we were at. The average lion in my district in 17-18 impacted 245 people with their service.
Wow.
And that's because we had people reporting service.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Getting your clubs into the habit of having a handed around at every meeting, what did you do to serve this month type of thing. It's a piece of paper that
Mhm.
literally gets handed around, or an email that goes out saying, what service did you do on behalf of the club this month? How many hours and whatever, and it all rolls in and whatever.
Right. Right.
We've had clubs that have used that very successfully. Then that allows the club secretary or the club admin to be able to do the reporting.
Yes. Yes, definitely. If you could get that person to email me, and make sure in the what's called subject line, they put in something about Lion administrator, and that way I don't begin searching for the delete button.
I'm going to send the email
Okay.
because I'm going to connect all of you.
Okay. And what I will do is, after we get through today, this afternoon, I will email our district administrator and tell him here's what's coming. And does the district administrator get this club health assessment too?
They should, I think.
If not, I'll ask him, because if he's not, I'm gonna email it to him.
Yeah, and we can teach them where to find it. It's not
Yeah.
that,
It's on this video. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's on the video. It's all right there. It's pretty simple. Once you understand the system, it's fairly easy to find.
Yes. Well, like I said, he's a good man and he wants to help. He agreed to stay on this year. It's just, he says, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
and you know
that's
what?
Great.
I was in the same boat with him. I didn't know what he was supposed to be doing, but here we go. I'm asking the questions.
Yeah, and it's important questions. So the
So-
other thing from a district governor standpoint is looking at the finance, that 90+ days that you see 2 clubs on this page, 3 clubs on this page. When you get 90+ days, you start getting sent into different statuses.
Yes.
So I don't know if your cabinet secretary treasurer or just cabinet treasurer, if you have them set to follow up with clubs, if you ask zone chairs, our zone chairs are very integrated into this process. We ask them
Yes.
to keep an eye on all of these pieces as well, so that they can then follow back around with the clubs to find out what's going on, because they're the main line, the number one line of communication, obviously, with the clubs. So
here's what happened absolutely yesterday. I got 2 mailings from LCI and I thought, oh, this could be interesting. And it was 2 clubs that had not paid their international dues.
Yep.
It was an invoice. I immediately contacted by email my regional zone chairman that would be over that area. And he said, Greg, I got it yesterday. He got it on Monday. He happened to be going to visit that club Monday night. He took it with him, and the treasurer wrote him a check right there. So he's getting it. I imagine my Region 2 guy for South is getting them as well. And I like to follow up by email. It puts my name out to these clubs and say, hey, I've noticed that you've got, like in this case, a $375. Oh no, that's donations. That you're 90 days past due.
Yep.
And when do you see your club paying it? We don't want you to get suspended or dropped because of this, because we want you. So anyhow, I'd like to do a lot of follow-up.
Perfect.
I send out, After I visit a club, I've got LCI thank you cards, the little postcard thing that goes in
Yep.
the envelope, and I handwrite it and say, thank you for letting me speak at your club. You know, that's just me. I just feel like it's a way.
It's important. It's an important follow-up to the whole process.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So,
the other important piece, especially for your district administrator to take a look at, is this line right here, this column right here, I should say.
okay.
And this is officers who do not have email addresses in the system. So if
Oh,
you're looking at this and you're trying to communicate with your club officers, and you notice that membership, vice president, secretary, president, membership, vice president, secretary, president, treasurer, membership, secretary, you got a lot of challenges
Yeah.
with reporting. Now, one of the, again, it depends on how techy your district administrator is. I mean, working on getting those email addresses into the system is really important for the officers in particular. The other side of it is, if clubs are really, we've got some clubs that are really don't want to put either personal information in there, or they want to make sure the club has access to the president emails that are coming in to the president in case something happens. So we've got clubs that actually create a president, Sun Prairie Lions president at gmail.com or president's SP Lions or whatever it is account that then they just forward on to the appropriate person each year.
Okay.
Which
Okay.
helps take care of some of the challenges, but then you have to change the member record with the correct mailing address under the officer record, etc. But that helps mitigate some of this. But you have no idea if they're responding at that point, or if they've actually passed it on, or if you're just going to a dead email address. So
Okay.
there's pros and cons to that. The ideal is to get the individuals to put their email address in the system.
Right. Right. Okay. So looking at Madison, that's the club I'm in.
Yep.
And we're the largest one in the state of Mississippi. Now, the N means vice president has not reported. Is that what that means?
The vice president was not reported. You do not have a nice vice president listed in the system.
Okay. Okay.
And then
if
your
it's
membership and secretary do not have emails in the system.
for them in the system, if it's an R, that means they've reported. Okay. That the
Yep.
vice president. Okay. I understand that. And then the 2 in the plus means the last report we did was within the last 2 months.
You've reported the two months in a row.
Okay, 2 months in a row. Okay, good. Yeah, we have a great secretary. Okay, and then I understand the 90 days, and I know another report that gives me a breakdown of
Right.
current.
You can pull
1 to
all of
30.
that, yes,
Yeah,
as the governor. So
okay.
So the other, from a strategic standpoint, from a district strategic standpoint, I think that this, back to membership, and I know you understand what this is, but
Yes.
from a strategic standpoint, looking at the average length of service for drop members is a very interesting discussion point for your exec team.
Okay.
Or your GAT team, or however you've broken it out. Because you can see this club has dropped 2 members this year, and they were only 2-year members. So
Right.
doesn't mean there's a problem yet, but it's something to keep your eye on. I mean, obviously this club has dropped, Waynesboro is down almost 30% this year. So they had something major go on, I assume,
Right.
that caused that. So when we look at this from a district standpoint every month, from our exec team meeting, is which clubs are we have an eye on these clubs? What are we doing to support them? What is the zone chair saying about what's going on? Where do we need to send someone out? Perhaps a rebuilding guiding lion. We call them consultants. You know, a club can, you know, this is our snapshot to really be able to see what's going on numbers wise with the clubs.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
And then of course at the bottom it gives you your totals, the tallies of everything that rolls down to this. So
Now, okay, let's talk about this one right here. The
sure.
year-to-date net growth, is that as of July 1?
Correct.
Okay, so we dropped 3 members. Now, is this current total members count? Is that as of whatever end of July, like this report, or the beginning of July?
This is all through July. So this
Okay.
report was actually created on August 9th. You can see this down below here.
Yes,
But
okay,
it's actually just through July 2022. So 30
I got
days.
you.
So July 31st.
Okay. But I can go back and look at previous months of other years based on going
Correct.
through the monthly membership report that you showed me. Okay, cool beans. Cool beans.
So this
mhm.
report is one that sharing it out with your people and having them understand it, having the zone chairs understand what they're looking at, because they should be getting a zone report every month.
Right.
This allows them, as part of their education process, to better manage, to have more information that allows them to not have to spend as much time because they understand what's going on.
Yeah, yeah. And like that previous page that had Waynesboro that had dropped, what was it?
25 members this year, so
Yeah.
down 28% basically.
And the average length of those members in Lions was 5 years. Then that zone chairman knows, I need to get in touch with that club.